Hello and welcome again to Jacob's Toys 5-minute figure reviews. Please do like, share, subscribe, all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. And once again, I have to say a huge thank you to Diamond Select Toys for sending me over the Cobra Kai figures to take a look at. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Karate Kid himself, Daniel LaRusso. So, without further ado, let's have a look at the box. As I said before, it's a nice kind of 3-window box, so you can really see what's included in the box before you even open it up. Or if you want to keep it as a display piece, it's a really nice kind of box display set, if you like. I'm really excited about this one. There looks like a lot of kind of cool details and accessories in there. So, without further ado, I want to crack him open. I am an out-of-box collector, so let's open him up and take a look. Here he is, Daniel LaRusso himself in his white Miyagi-Do gi. Now you have the Miyagi-Do karate base, so as I've said in previous ones, you can put this flight stand into the base, or there's a little peg there that you can stand the figure on as well. You also get a cool little bonsai, so Daniel LaRusso wouldn't be the Karate Kid without his bonsai. You also get this accessory, this hand accessory with the drum that he uses in the training, and you get a couple of additional hands. You get like a karate chop hand as well, which is a must for Daniel LaRusso, I suppose. But most importantly, you get these crane kick hands. So it's really cool that they've included these so that if you want to put him in a crane kick, you can do so using these hands. As well as that, he's also holding this really cool staff, which is really solid actually, which is good for an accessory. A lot of the time with bow staffs, they're quite flimsy, but it's really solid. Now the articulation on him is the same as the figures I've mentioned before. So you've got two points of articulation in the torso there, one just under the chest and one at the waist. You've also got double joint in the knee. You've got an ankle pivot as well. You've got a double joint in the elbow. You can move the shoulders around, and of course you've got head articulation as well. Now you really can get these legs kind of out a little bit. I'm just going to have a play around and kind of put him in a very basic crane kick just so you can see how he can be displayed. Just to show you that the body does articulate enough that you can get him into that kind of pose. Now you've got to have a little bit of artistic license in regards to the arms, just so that it obviously looks realistic as well at the same time. But there you go, you can kind of get him into that pose. Now I need to have a proper play around. This is just for the sake of the video, but while I'm here, let's change the hands over. Now I have mentioned in previous videos, you've got to be really careful with the Diamond Select hands when you swap them over, because they can be quite stiff, and because of the plastic, they can break. So just be very, very careful. If you're a little bit worried, then apply a little bit of heat maybe beforehand, but just be careful when you're pulling hands out and putting new ones in, because you don't want to snap those pegs. Worst case scenario, you definitely don't want the peg to snap off in the figure, because then you're not going to be able to replace it another hand. So just be careful, but as you can see here, it's quite easy to do so if you're careful. Here are those kind of crane kick hands. And okay, I'm not going to win any awards for posing in this particular instance, but just for the sake of the video, I wanted to show you that you can put Daniel LaRusso, the Karate Kid, into the crane kick that is so iconic with the Karate Kid films. Now, this is obviously the older Daniel LaRusso, as seen in the Cobra Kai TV show on Netflix, and it's a really cool figure. Now, as far as I'm aware, Diamond Select are the only ones currently putting out kind of articulated action figures of Cobra Kai, so if you are a fan of the show, then go ahead and pick these up on their website. However, I would not pick these up for smaller children, because they are quite, fragile in places, and I think that in the hands of smaller children they would just get broken. But they are well built, so kids could play with them if they wanted to, but these are definitely made and manufactured more for the adult collector. Now, if you are going to pose him in this crane kick position, you would have to use the figure stand, and I think this is a good example of when the flight stands are very good. So you can move him around, and as long as he's got kind of one foot on the floor, he's not going to fall over, but the flight stand will just add that extra bit of stability, so you can get him into kind of a pose that would require more balance, because let's be honest, action figures aren't the easiest to balance on one foot. Let's put this bow staff back in his hand so you can kind of see how that looks. But yeah, it's a really cool figure. Definitely looks like Daniel LaRusso, and he's got the iconic kind of headband there as well. And what's nice about this one is there is that little bit of extra detail that you saw on the back, which has got the Miyagi-Do karate kind of logo and branding, which is really cool. I'm just going to kind of play around with him and just get him into kind of a vanilla pose, if you like, because for me personally, I'm going to just have a little Karate Kid stroke Cobra Kai setup on my shelf, and so I just want them in kind of neutral but kind of posed if that makes sense. I don't want to do anything too elaborate at the moment, so I'm going to have something like this on my shelf, because as you can see there, very quickly was able to get him into a decent realistic looking pose. Now he stands about 7 inches, but scales very well with the other Cobra Kai figures. So let's have a little bit of a closer look. So there we go, you can see the sculpt is really nice on this one, the details on the gi and on the face as well. Yeah, got really very little to complain about. Got to say a massive thank you to Diamond Select for sending this over. Do check my page for the other Cobra Kai figure reviews. And of course, if you're enjoying what you're watching, then please do like, share, subscribe, and all of those things, because all support to the channel is very much appreciated. I'll see you soon.